What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's Wednesday, another Wednesday, November 5th. Sorry we're a little bit late, but we're all here. How you guys doing?
Yeah, just been checking out this crypto nuclear crash that happened, aka just a small little 5-7% dip in the price of Bitcoin, and probably, I don't know, $1 billion worth of liquidations of long positions.
My favorite thing about it is these the influencers who are like, don't believe what everyone's saying. It's like, guy, people are just getting absolutely smoked. People just have so much hopium. It's just insane.
Yeah, it's a very interesting time because you can't deny the fact that you're at the end of the calendar year. But
BNB bounced 5%. So the funny thing about it is just the level of market manipulation. It's just like you can just wipe out so many people. It's just
right. It's just crazy. The liquidations just mean that the exchanges are just making so much loot, and it's like to liquidate people hundreds of millions or a billion plus a day. And they do it like, multiple times a month. And it's just, that's just revenue. That's just revenue for a company, but that's like people's life savings on the other side. The other interesting one, Josh, you sent me this note, which is that a wallet that's like an insider that's been timing shorts and long positions with Trump tweets. And we don't know, you don't know who it is, but that wallet has made, what did it say? It said like 54 or like 34 perfect trades, and it just got liquidated it made 34 perfect trades and made like $35 million in profit, and
just lost 44 million.
Lost $45 million just so all of the money that you made and another 10 million, you just lost it all yesterday. So
we call that double or nothing.
That's called
getting nothing.
That's called a big oopsie.
Yeah.
Didn't get the memo.
It's so dangerous
in a nutshell.
Yeah, leverage trading is just so dangerous.
It's just nasty. Gambling, It's like you can gamble, win, and then you kind of double down on one trade and one bet or whatever, and you lose it all, and you're just like, wow, all that time I spent making all that money.
This time, all this pain and anguish.
All those late nights
on the edge of the Golden Gate Bridge.
How was that one girl? She was down 250,000 for, what'd she say, 8 weeks or something, and she had to ride. I sent you guys a video of this trader, and she was on leverage, and she was down like 30. I think she did a short, and it went up, and so she was down 30K. And she was just said, I'm just going to write it. And she went down. She was down $250,000, and she held on and ended up closing out at 60K in the profit.
I mean, that's what the big short guy is doing right now against NVIDIA. He has like 80% of his portfolio shorting NVIDIA and just waiting for the fucking bubble to burst.
You're going to be riding that one. Yeah, I just watched.
There's all these posters for The Big Short too.
Yeah, I just watched a video that said that the market cap of NVIDIA is bigger than the GDP of every country in the world except for the US and China.
Yeah, I just sent that to you this morning. It's crazy.
That's wild. Insane. Every single country. Even Germany, which has got a 5 trillion, 13 billion dollar GDP, and NVIDIA is 5 trillion, 40 billion. So
yeah, well, what's also crazy about that same video is that the Buffett chart, which Warren Buffett created about the GDP of the US versus the stock market to predict bubbles. At the first bubble in 2001, it was up 25% of the GDP. The second bubble in 2008, it was up 150% over the GDP before it burst. And right now we're over 200% of the GDP.
We're at 246.
Right.
So yeah, it's not good.
Hold on to your wee-wees.
Yeah, shit is highly over leveraged. Yeah, it's ready for a heavy pullback at some point.
There's just not unlimited money in the world, you know.
What are you talking about? Of course there is. You just keep printing.
That's what the US just does. It just keeps printing money.
You just keep printing it, just keep devaluing the US dollar, and one day we'll be at like South Africa money, you know, or maybe like Lebanon money.
Caleb will love to be there to say, "I told you so."
Yeah, Caleb will be like,
that's gonna be one of the. It's gonna be like a bittersweet for him, where he's like, "I told you so," but
and Caleb's 0.001. Caleb's 0.001 Bitcoin's gonna be worth like $20 million, so he'll be stoked.
Like, yeah, but $20 million is like gonna buy you beer. So
we should all be so lucky.
It's like, damn. It's like
but
it's like $1 million to ride the bus. I got $1 million for what? I got to take the bus, go home. Well, in other news, little update on what we've been doing. So the transaction continues. We talked about this on our last call, that the deadline got moved back. Our initial deadline had a closing date of the 22nd of October, but yeah, there was some delays in the handing over.
Mind you, it's not our delays. We're not the ones.
It's not our delays. In fact, we didn't even ask for an extension or anything like that, but the seller had to ask for extension or provide an extension now for 3 weeks of extensions, and we had provided a 10-day buffer. We didn't think there were any chance it wouldn't close in the month of October, but they have had to offer us multiple extensions because they have had issues getting access to the AWS servers. And so, and we have to review those obviously to complete the deal. So we're still waiting for access. And as a result, the closing date's been kind of pushed. Now it's pushing up into like the Thanksgiving time period in America. And yeah, and so we'll see what that date is, but it's looking like it's going to end up being like, early December now. So I guess you could say before Christmas, our Christmas present will be closing this deal. And yeah, it's super exciting because we're already starting to kind of discuss ways in which we can begin promoting it and what that kind of advertising strategy will look like. And starting to talk to a lot of our partners, big media companies and whatnot that are aligning with us on what we're doing. So yeah, it's pretty good little moment in time. It's also nice to be focused on the traditional media space when the crypto market is just in shambles, basically. So I think this will be a very nice link between what's happening in the blockchain crypto space, what blockchain and crypto should be used for, which is immutable ledger, offering data and revenue transparency, and other utility purposes. Like people can actually use cryptocurrency for things that they do every day. Nobody can point out any reason why you need to have any XRP, for example. I'm on a consumer basis. Maybe, this whole story around transferring value cross border. Certainly crypto has a lot of
XRP is going up to $10,000 per coin. No?
I thought it was going to $1 million a coin, so that seams pretty low.
I never heard.
Well, $1 million to buy your beer, so
yeah. You can buy a beer. Yeah, good point. Good point. When inflation's at like 200, you know.
Now it makes sense that's what they were saying. And I think SHIB is going to hit $1 at that same time.
Yeah, right around that time. That's a good point.
Oh my God, shit.
Well, if Trump keeps working on his, he's already devalued the dollar, what, 13%, 9 months. So by the end of his term, we should be at like, 50% inflation. We should be good. We should be good on a $1 million beer by that 2030. But
buy beer coin.
Beer coin.
Hey guys, let's start it.
Pretty sure there was a beer coin.
There was a beer coin.
So many projects with that name, all the way back to like 2013. I think there was one.
They all got rugged.
Yeah, they all got rugged.
The US dollar is getting rugged right now.
Yeah, five people became millionaires though. So keep gambling. That's all that matters, dude. Just 95,000 people got rugged and 5 people got rich. So tough time.
What a time to be alive, boys.
That's why, it was a perfect opportunity for us to make this shift. And I think at the end of the day, it'll make a lot of sense for a lot of people. And, I think we're kind of approaching that, like that FTX like inflection point where people are like, what the fuck is going? What's crypto even for? Why do people even care? And we'll see you at the end of the bear market. That's just about to start,
But the question is it going to be about crypto? Or is it going to be about AI this time? Because the last time it was crypto, and people said, what good is crypto? 2021 NFTs and everything, and then big crash 2022. Now it's all AI, and the question is, is it going to be like the big doom around AI, where it's like, it's a billion GPUs for what, a decent search engine, and then AI crash.
There's got to be. I mean, I think you want to think like, oh yeah, there's going to be AI crash. The only thing that I will say about AI that gives me a little pause is like a lot of people use it, like in their daily life, and I can see the value of it. Like my efficiency level has gone up exponentially. Like I can do things faster. Look, and I believe some people are doing this. I don't do this.
But it's also affected the job markets.
Yeah, it's affected the job market, man. But I don't do this, but I know a lot of people do, where they're like, oh, I have to write this report for this client. Prompt, do this for me, report, and then they just send that out. And that's trash. That shit is actually trash. Like AI, like as far if you were going to grade that on a scale of 1 to 100, you're delivering someone like a 30 out of 100. It's an F level quality, but you're able to give them a lot of words and maybe some page count, and it can do bulk work. It's going to be garbage. If you use that as the equivalent of an outline, and then you go through with your fucking human brain and you actually go, oh, this is some repetitive gibberish, fucking AI hallucination. Remove that. Oh, here's some actual research that I did here. Now I have a great structure. You can get that report out and it can be damn good. You can get a 90 out of 100 or 95 out of 100 in, a tenth of the time that you would have had to spend, because you had a really nice bulk outline that gave you a lot of word count, and then you can go and edit it. And I think that's a really effective use of AI, but I think a lot of people are just doing straight up bullshit. And so I think there is a race to the bottom with AI because humans are innately lazy as fuck. And
it depends on what you're calculating as AI. If you're talking about like just ChatGPT as AI, then that's one thing. But the stuff that's happening with video creation and image creation and marketing agencies.
Same point though. If you just create a Sora and just put that out as your freaking commercial, it's going to be shitty. It's going to be that 30 out of 100. But if you use that to create elements and to elevate, or use that as digital storyboards to go create something killer that you're going to go shoot with like a real pro director, then you're going to get a 95 out of 100 in a tenth of the time. That's what I'm trying to say, where AI can really thrive. And I think it thrives in almost every single category that you apply it. But again, if you're just like, and I think people do this. I've actually seen, I can't believe how many times I see like a video that'll be put right up on on like a major company or a brand's Instagram, and at the end it says CapCut. It's like you couldn't even take the time to cut the fucking plate that shows that you didn't even pay for the subscription off the end of the video before you posted it. Like you just couldn't figure out how to do that. Lazy
but
shit.
It's also it's lazy shit, but it's also I remember, well, I was super young, but this is similar to like where the internet became like a, you know, where people are like, why do I need the internet? I got a fax machine and I, you know, have a yellow pages, so like I don't need the internet. And where the internet has gotten to over the last, you know, multiple decades is like it's part of our daily life. And I do believe that AI is going to become part of our daily lives. I mean, you're watching and you even said, Caleb, like, was this a better like browser for searching? I mean, yeah, now ChatGPT just came out with their own browser that's doing search and that's doing, you know, using AI. I mean, last night I was, you know, I moved to a new place and it's a little noisy. So looking up a noise canceller, I just went and had ChatGPT go do an in-depth research project on what's the best noise canceller and just fucking bought it in 4 minutes flat. You know, like that's the progress that AI has in your daily life.
You know what I just did, which was actually, sorry, Caleb, I'll make it real quick. With ChatGPT, I said, you're like an expert stock trader and you work with helping new investors get started on the first, you know, their first investment. And I said, what are the top 3 stocks in these sectors that you would suggest somebody to invest in? And then it said the top 3. And then I said, out of those top 3s, pick one from each sector that you think is going to have the greatest potential for upside growth. And it gave me those 3. And then I literally just went and put $20 into each one of them just to see if it worked. I mean, I think it was like $100. And I'm not even kidding you. Within 3 days, the earnings for those projects came out and they all ripped. Pretty wild. I mean, they're not up, like I didn't put a lot of money into them, but if I had gone and put, you know, $1,000 into each one, I'd be up like maybe already up like 25% on my portfolio, which is kind of crazy to do it in, and that's like just in a week. Anyway, I thought that was pretty wild. I just wanted to do a test because I'm in a group with some buddies where we're all putting in like a certain amount of money to just like see who could get the most upside in a year without like, you can day trade if you want, but like find some projects you want to invest in and everybody's like sharing and helping each other. And so I was like, I'm going to just see how AI can run this portfolio for me. And then just ask it updates on new things that are coming up. And it was crazy to see that they knew like when the like projections of or like their report earnings were going to come out and stuff. And they even said like, hey, these ones, the earnings are going to come out and they're looking to be better than what they had initially thought.
That's really cool. Well, look, what
were you going to say, Caleb?
Yeah, go for it.
I use AI for three things basically. One is to prepare a template, usually for code, get started on something. The second one is a lot of times if I like writing a report, I'll do it the opposite way as you, Jesse. I will write the meat of the report as a bullet list, as you know how I write. It's got all the details, everything's there, but it's not pretty. And then I'll hand that to AI and it will turn it into a beautiful formatted letter that I can send out, and people will appreciate it. So that I like because I've written the bullet points, and so the data is very good and it's to my standard. And then AI will format it and make it look nice. And so it also looks nice.
I do that too. I like that. What's the third?
And the third thing is just as a search engine, you know, like it can find the things you don't have the words to search for. You just like, I need a thing that does this, searching for like library functions or something. Like, does there exist any code that's open source that does this, and AI was like, yeah, there's a thing. It's called that. Wow.
Right. Yeah.
And then the fifth is to go talk naughty, and you just like want to get a little nasty with somebody. You could just talk nasty to your AI and just come back.
Never done that, Josh, but I'm glad to know that that's one of your top use cases. No, I do the outline thing all the time. Actually, it's a really nice way to just what I've been doing recently. It's even better is just voice note. I actually told, so I'll prompt the AI and people should do this. It's freaking awesome. So what I'll do is I'll say, I'll do a prompt. I'll say, hey, I need to write a letter, and it's going to have 4 sections. Section 1 is going to be about technology. Section 2 is going to be about use cases, etc. And I'll say, and I'm going to give you a voice note for each section. And then once I give each section, then turn that into bullet points, and then turn that into a letter or whatever I want them to do. And then I'll just talk out loud like I'm talking to you, and I'll just say all of my ideas. It writes it out. I can edit it right there, my own words, and then send it. And so that's just been a cool way to just get it done. I've done things really fast this way. It's like, oh, I got to do this thing. All right, I'm just going to sit down and I can do that whole thing in a matter of 10 minutes, 7 minutes, and just fire it all off. So it's been really nice to just do stream of consciousness, get it out there, have it format it for you. I think that's a little bit of like the mindless use cases where you can like, usually when you have to create something, you have to do all the pieces together, which is come up with the ideas, express the ideas, and write it in a way that is going to be well received. And this just allows you to kind of like throw your ideas at a computer, let the computer kind of sort through them, give it back to you and be like, is that acceptable? And then you can be like, no, let me change it, move stuff around like that. But it's certainly a faster way. And yeah, it creates a lot more efficiency. Now, if you're losing your job because of AI, then you were worthless before. Like you weren't doing anything of substance. If you're using AI to enhance your job, like that's where I think people need to not be fearful of AI and use it as a tool. I think where I would say it sucks, and I almost want to eat my words on what I just said, that you're worthless, is like if you're a factory worker or working in these like shipping warehouses or something like that, and Jeff Bezos just bought like 80,000 robots to replace your ass, like that sucks.
Yeah,
that sucks because the efficiency, and this is why like the whole thing about bringing like about Trump's tariffs and bringing factory work back to America is such BS. Made in America, like having a freaking Android making it so that the company can get no tariffs. Like you're not bringing jobs back to America. Like manufacturing jobs are not coming back. Cars, they're not built by freaking human beings. They're built by robots,
Yeah.
and they're making you, I've seen them. The big arms, and they're moving stuff around. Obviously you still need like maybe one person snapping something in here and there, but I mean there's got to be some way you could look. I bet we're using one for every like 100, one human for every previous like 50 to 100 factory workers that used to be on like the Henry Ford manufacturing floor back in the 50s than what we have today, because I mean the efficiencies
20% human work. Back in the 80s, GM was really big on automating with robots, and they tried doing what they call lights off manufacturing, where they had an entire assembly line with no humans.
Right, zero, yeah.
Work at night, and they spent a lot of money on this. This was the 80s. Robots existed, but they were what existed in the 80s. They spent a lot of money on it, and they eventually rolled it back, put humans back in charge.
Sure.
Now, robots have made gains. They've definitely made gains, and there's stuff going on in China that's that nobody can believe with how many. There'll be like a shop floor, maybe 1,000 square feet, and one guy is running the whole thing, and he's like the owner of that little shop, and it's all robots. The whole building, the whole floor is all robots. So the robots have gone a long way, but it's still a collaborative thing with robots and humans. But I mean, I guess that's obvious. And in car assembly, I think at least 10 to 20% human work, just because there's stuff that's kind of finicky, and robots are good at. It's just the same thing as ChatGPT. It's like it's good at getting you almost all the way, and then when you add a human, it just multiplies the effectiveness.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, they say, I'm looking up on ChatGPT, it says 95% is automated in some parts, but other parts can be like 40 to 60%. It just depends on like what part of the supply chain they're doing. But anyways,
engine machining, the machining of the manufacturing of the engine, that's really simple. So that's almost like you can, it's kind of like just a CNC machine, just drill the cylinders, So I can see how that would be done completely automated. It's like a giant 3D printer, except it's a tooling and it's metal. But like assembly, interior, that type of stuff, that's where I think there's more of a mix. And
what I get excited about with what we're doing in media is, the ability to contextually analyze what's happening on a screen, to be able to, understand preferences and behaviors, and using AI and machine learning to create algorithms. And I think that stuff is going to be super exciting application of, this technology.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big one. You just got to figure out how to, and it's not hard, because you can just go to ChatGPT and just say, I don't know how to do this. What should I do? And it's going to literally tell you something, So anybody who's like, I don't know how to do it. It's like, did you ask ChatGPT? If you're like, can't figure it out, like it's going to give you at least some direction. But yeah, you got to get in the habit of asking now. And it's such an interesting thing, because like when kids, like think about kids, like all they do is just ask you questions all day long. They're like, hey, what's this? Why is this? It's just be a kid again. Just ask questions. And now you have AI. Now, of course, that's a little risky, because AI, it can hallucinate and tell you all kinds of bogus stuff. And also that shouldn't be a source of truth. But it has changed the way that people are even using search engines. And I know it's changed the way I use search engines now. The way I communicate with Google is totally different. Just in the last year, I feel like I'm like asking a lot more questions and looking for answers rather than doing searches. Like my searches.
Google also has AI built into it.
I know.
When you ask it questions, it first has like its ChatGPT version that will like start giving you information, and then you can do like a traditional search.
I just think about this. Like anytime I write an email or a professional text or anything that needs to be like, legit, I write it, I copy it, I put in ChatGPT, and I say grammar correct, just to make sure that it's grammar, grammarly correct. But like, think about this. If you were in high school and you could write a paper and then toss it in ChatGPT and tell it to grammar correct, oh my God, you would just be like, it would change the game. Because I mean, I was thinking back 25 years ago when I was in high school, we didn't have any of that shit. You would just have to do spell check on, Word, and the spell check was not good. So and then you would have to go through your own stuff, make sure that it was grammarly correct, and just like
the unfortunate thing is kids just now won't know how to grammar check and won't know basic math and won't know any of that shit.
It's the same thing for, technology just changes everybody, the way people learn, like when we were in school, you had books and you had binders and you had paper, and now like a lot of the kids are learning on iPads, especially from like the early kindergarten through like second, first grade. A lot of the pretty much everything's online learning now, especially with how COVID changed the way people learn. So like when my son, when has like a snow day, they just say, oh, it's e-learning, go online, and you'll give you a curriculum and you'll just learn. You'll have 3-4 hours worth or 3 hours worth of work that you have to do. And all the stuff that they're doing now is in workbooks anyway. So like the lessons that these kids are learning are lessons from a workbook. And so when it's time to do schoolwork, they'll give you the workbook. You'll do the pages that need to be done. They'll rip those out, and that's the homework you turn in. So kids are not even doing very much homework anymore, especially in second, third, fourth grade. Because I was thinking, and I keep asking, like, hey, what's up with homework? And they're like, homework? There's no homework. We do it all in school because it's all in a workbook. And I think once you get to high school, that's when homework comes in.
Yeah, homework. I think homework's, I never, homework is a weird one because it's like, look, I do remember homework, the value of homework, but for me personally, maybe other people could say, oh, it's stupid. It's just like the more you work on anything, the better you're going to get at it. It's just a fact. So the more work you're doing, the more focused you are. And it's a different type of work that you do in school than when you're just at home at your desk trying to get the answers, and you have to think about it and want it to be right. And then you bring it to school the next day and see if you did a good job. And it does help with retention. The thing that sucks about it when you're a kid is like, you just went to school all day. Now you go home and you do school all night, and then you go to school, and then you're just doing school all the time. And so, is that the best lifestyle? I don't know. I know for me, there were pros and cons to it. I definitely think how smart I got is a result of how hard I worked in school. I feel like I got really smart on a lot of things. And I also value the education I got in certain subjects that I enjoyed, like history. I really liked AP. I took AP European history. I loved US history, and I had a great teacher in college in Santa Barbara, and I really value the education. And that education, understanding history is important to understand what's going on today. Some people are like, oh, well, who cares about what happened in Roman times? Well, guess what? History repeats itself. So like the more you know, the better off you are in a lot of ways. Some people might disagree, and I think we know for a fact that, I can just speak for the U.S. population, we have a real uneducated U.S. population. Like we do not have a lot of like the populace is not highly intelligent anymore. And TV, what started with TV, reality TV, we just like, everyone was going, wow, people are just getting dumber watching reality TV. Well, take that and put that on like an X multiplier with social media. People just sitting there consuming TikTok and the way these algorithms work. I even find myself doing it with Instagram stories is my poison, but you can just sit there and watch it 24/7. Like it's like TV. You just keep flipping it. It just keeps going. It never ends.
Well, I think homework for me got me really good as like a business owner, because I got all these people that were way smarter than me to do their homework, and then I'd copy their homework. And as like somebody that's running businesses, I like to hire people who are smarter than me, get them to do all the fucking work for me, and then I get paid. And that's like just good business operations. Yeah. And I think that
taught you a lot.
I think school,
that's what I would do.
Taught me that.
Being a D-level student really taught you a lot, dude.
Taught me how to be a D-level student, taught me how to be a C-level exec.
Oh, I had to be an entrepreneur, dude.
Actually, I got a B+. I was actually on the honor roll. And I don't
you're a B student.
Because the guy that you were
how that happened, except I was really good at participating in class, and I was really fucking good at copying people's homework. Dude, and that's how you get plus, everybody.
It's funny. I was a B+ student because the guy I was copying with was a B+ student.
Yeah. It's not my fault. That's just you gotta copy off better people.
I picked the wrong guy. Could have been an A student, but I need to be better at hiring.
The problem was I was bad at test taking, so that was where
what happens when you don't do your homework. You go take a test.
Well, good news. You don't fucking have to take tests in regular
in the real world.
life.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, look, it's once you relax that part of your brain, like it's definitely gets lazy and you can rely and do fine in life. Just at this point, armchair life livers with AI can help you do that. So, I mean, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with it, but work ethic's going to always win at the end of the day. And if you can work, smarter, not harder, do it. I'm all for it. So, but at the end of the day, like you do need to figure out what you want to be, what you want to do, and you got to learn, at least something like that. Become an expert in something, at least one thing in your life, and your life will be better for it, for sure. It gives you a lot of purpose, and I think it's definitely the way to go. And I think, yeah, and it brings back that, like, the jack of all trades thing. It's, I better to be master of one than anything. So, you'll definitely have a better
Stay
outlook.
in schools, kids. That's the
Stay
moral
in
of the
school,
story.
kids. But
all right, well, we
think,
should
yeah,
wrap
that was a
this
good
up
cut.
with talking about the new news with PKTC that was just made of light. And just to let people know that they should go claim their airdrops. There's basically, it seems to be that PKTC is shutting down in a sense, and that the operators are, from what I could understand, are starting to realize that they couldn't do it without us, and so what we recommend is that people that want to take value from their investments and from their time investments and what they've put forth in this project should go claim their airdrops on base and continue the journey with us. That's we're certainly not giving up.
I want to be clear, though, that there's no urgency here. Nothing about the PKTC chain is necessary for you to claim an airdrop or any of that stuff. The amount of the airdrop is based on the amount from the snapshot from August 21st, 2024. So that will still be there whether or not the PKTC chain.
Well, the caveat of that is a lot of people are using the PKT, the Packet World wallet, and you have to you have to get your private key, and we don't know the maintenance or if they're going to maintain that wallet or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so as long as you have the wallet file on your computer, technically the private key is there inside of, and it's in the seed, right? So it's the key is actually on your computer, but it is a good idea to go ahead and do it, because if the people that were maintaining the PKTC chain were also maintaining that wallet software. So the future of that wallet software is not guaranteed. So in order to not end up in a situation of just being an annoying situation of having to ask in order to get the key out of that wallet file, right? In order to, and having to use some software to get it out, it's better to just go in the wallet, grab the keys out, and do the airdrop now, so that you don't have to worry about the future of that software. But again, don't worry about urgency, because the keys are on your computer. The keys are all that's necessary in order to claim the airdrop. So your money's safe. It's just that it's as Josh says, it's better to just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, look, I think there's some people, it depends on how far back you are, right? Because if you go back to the Packet wallet, which was like the Vishnu wallet, or, I mean, obviously the command line wallet's still safe if you could still remember how to do all the commands, and and also there's been a lot of iterations of the command line wallet that, depending on when you last had it, those commands will have changed depending on what version you were using. And so if you're using, like, I just had a friend literally open up that old command line wallet and it reset, and he doesn't. I don't. That wallet's a disaster. That old, sorry, not the packet wallet that Vishnu did is a disaster. So that one's in real bad shape. And if you had the Packet World wallet, to Josh's point, that one still works. I actually tested it out yesterday, but the Packet World website's down, so you can't even go find that wallet right now. I'd like to have that wallet able to be downloaded from somewhere on the Packet Cash website. Like, you should be able to, from the migration page, we'll probably put a link there so you can download it. But right now, you're kind of SOL. You probably have to ask in the chat if you need a wallet, because that project is deconstructing. Like, the guys, it's just a classic situation. Like, they flushed it out. They bifurcated the project. They didn't play nice with anybody, and then thought they could do it without any support, and now they're all giving up. You saw the writing on the wall, shouldn't have bit the hand that feeds you, but that's just where it was and where it is. And so, want to make sure everyone does get their migration, ends up on Packet on Base. And if you need to get your private key and you need help with wallet assistance, whatever, jump into a chat, try and figure it out now, because it's just going to get harder to do it in the future. So just do it. Do it. It doesn't take long. Like, you might futz around with it. It might seem like, oh, I don't have time, it's too complicated. It's not. Go to the migration page on the technical docs section of the Packet Cash website. It's literally a one-pager. It's a couple little keystrokes, a couple things. The migration aid is right there. The migration tool is right there. Easy to download, works perfectly. I just did it with someone yesterday. So just do it. Stop being lazy. Yeah,
and it's definitely good to do it. Again, reassure, all of those wallets are based on the command line wallet, so they're all compatible. All of the wallet files are compatible with the ancient command line wallet, with the exception of Electrum. But I don't think Electrum's going away, because I released it, so I still have it.
Right.
But again, it's better to do it, because code rots and things get old and people forget, and people it's better to just get everything updated, because it's just better. But don't worry, but do be efficient about getting moved over.
Yeah. So that's the status update. Look, I think once everything sorts itself out, I mean, it's been a down year. There's no question. It's been a dismal year for Packet. There's been no real support in building out the crypto project. It's just been basic maintenance on our end. And so, there's been no marketing, and Josh and I have put our heads down, Caleb, working on this acquisition, which we think is going to breathe a lot of life into the project. Once that happens, then it's like we now have a purpose, and we have something that we can real market and storytell beyond just the crypto sphere, but mass market, and we can tie in everything that relates to PKT. So that's the plan. A year's elapsed, and you can go, well, nothing happened. Yeah, nothing happened. No one obviously did anything. So you guys are all looking for us to do something, and I'm not going to do something until we have a real direction that we can lean on. And this is just this is it for us. This is an acquisition that's going to bring in millions and millions of users. And as a result, I'm not saying all those users are going to end up being Packet holders, but it's going to give us a real purpose on the marketing front, and how we can
and a budget. What a concept.
And a budget and a purpose to market beyond just marketing a coin. It has to have a real utility to it. Nobody built real utility beyond some of the serviceable network functions of the project, which are cool. And obviously the domain stuff's great, but we never got to really market that either. And so this is gonna tie it all together, and we'll be able to do it. And it's gonna be a 2026 thing. So that'll be good. And it's irregardless of what happens with the markets. Like if the markets are nuking and we're in a bear market, it won't matter as far as how we can pack it because of our whole focus in the media and entertainment space and how that will anchor the project and give it purpose, even regardless of what happens in crypto or what happens in the macro markets. Like the whole US market goes into recession, doesn't even matter with what we're building. So that's exciting stuff. You know, we ain't going anywhere, and we'll see you out here next Wednesday.
Yep. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in, and you guys have a great rest of your week and rest of your day, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Have a great week.
Peace.
Bye, everybody.